Hello everyone, it's Connor Time here, and today I wanted to talk a bit about VR headsets. VR headsets have been kinda exploding lately, but I still remember being in university a couple of years ago and hearing about the Oculus Kickstarter. It was a big deal, it was a new thing, and it was incredibly interesting. And a lot of people were looking forward to the future of VR and what can be done with this platform. And especially nowadays, we're seeing a lot of developers jump into this, especially when you consider the new competitors to Oculus. Valve have partnered up with HTC and have released the Vive, which was very well received. Sony went into the low-end market and released their Sony VR headset for PlayStation 4, which also was very popular. And of course, as VR grows, more and more people are going to get into it. This is the reality of something that keeps expanding, kind of like gaming in general, right? Gaming started off as incredibly niche, and now it's grown into something much bigger. But of course, mentioning these competitors, we have to keep in mind that consumers nowadays have a lot more options than they had before. And this is a good thing, especially in the context of what we're going to discuss in today's video. You see, in a recent blog post, Oculus has clarified or has kind of updated their fan base that moving forward, people who use Oculus devices will have to link their Oculus devices to a Facebook account in order for them to start using the device properly. This is in stark contrast to what would happen previously, where anyone could just create an Oculus account, and that would be the account that manages your Oculus settings. With this new move, Facebook is moving all those things onto their Facebook account platform. Now, this is kind of a 180, especially when you consider that Oculus have mentioned in the past that Facebook would still be kind of disconnected to them, or maybe it won't have as much influence on the company as a lot of people thought it would do. But now that we're coming to this point, now that Oculus are talking about this, it's pretty obvious that Facebook are kind of swallowing Oculus whole. We're seeing Facebook transform the Oculus brand seamlessly into the Facebook brand. And a lot of people, hardcore Oculus fans, don't really want that to happen. Of course, mandating people to link their Facebook account is kind of crazy, especially when you consider that it's a gaming-centric device more than anything. But I'd say let's jump right into the statement and take a look at what exactly was said by Oculus. The title on the blog post reads, "A single way to log into Oculus and unlock social features," which is already a bit of a red flag because social features when you're trying to game, it's not exactly a priority. But let's read on. Today, we're announcing some important updates to how people log into Oculus devices, while still keeping their VR profile. Starting in October 2020, everyone using an Oculus device for the first time will need to log in with a Facebook account. So, imagine myself, I go out, I buy a brand new Oculus device. This is my first time using that device. From October of this year, I'm gonna need to link it to my Facebook account in order for it to work, or for me to use the full functionality of the product. If you're an existing user and already have an Oculus account, you'll have the option to log in with Facebook and merge your Oculus and Facebook accounts. So for existing users, they're giving them the option to merge their existing Oculus account with their Facebook account and kind of link them together. If you're an existing user and choose not to merge your accounts, you can continue using your Oculus account for 2 years. After January 1st, 2023, we will end support for Oculus accounts. So this is kind of the big thing here. There's an ultimatum here, right? A couple of years, maybe 2 years and a couple of months. But at that point, I can only assume that they will discontinue a lot of the Oculus services and just migrate them completely to Facebook, which is something that a lot of people don't want. And there's a couple of reasons why. The biggest one, I feel, is that there are issues with linking a social media account especially on Facebook, where all your personal information is, with a gaming sort of account, centric account. A gaming centric account, if you link these together, oh, so all of a sudden your personal information is the same with your gaming information on the VR headset? It's crazy to me. Because as gamers, we kind of got used to the fact that when we're online on a game, we're anonymous. You see my username, whatever it is, and you don't know who I am. But if we're going to link these to Facebook accounts, you're going to know who I am. Is there going to be like a username system? Is there going to be like a separate, can you do multiple accounts using your Facebook account for Oculus? It just doesn't really make a lot of sense in the gaming sphere. But there's more issues. Facebook has come under heat lately because of all the data they gather about their users. If they're going to be gathering data directly on the Facebook account when I'm using my VR headset, they're going to get a lot of data because VR collects a lot of information. Maybe they take my voice clips or something. It's a lot of privacy, topics that I don't think a lot of gamers want to get into, and Facebook is kind of forcing this onto their Oculus community, which just isn't right. I can sort of see that Facebook want Oculus to become a mass market device. They want to push this on Facebook accounts because it's more convenient for them, because they want to push VR as mainstream, and they want to integrate social gaming into Oculus, which is what Facebook is used for. Lots of people, especially gamers, don't go to Facebook for their gaming stuff, but lots of casual gamers use Facebook for gaming, right? It's something that is maybe a bit of a disconnect, but there's definitely a huge gap between the hardcore and like the Facebook gamers when it comes to using Facebook as a gaming platform. My final point here is that, we have to let Oculus know that this is a bad decision as consumers. So that means voting with your wallet. It doesn't make sense if you're against this policy to go out and purchase the first Oculus VR headset that they announce. You might want to go with a different competitor. And with such a blooming market, this could be really interesting. We might see a lot more competition. Maybe Oculus, with this move, might generate a lot of backlash and lose sales that they otherwise would not get. Because let's face it, VR is still kind of expensive and still out of the reach for a lot of people. So if Oculus makes such a big mistake now and start getting swallowed up by Facebook, it might be detrimental to their future. So the best way to do this is voting with money, not purchasing something that you're not happy with, and maybe checking out competitor products to see if their account policy matches yours. Of course, my final opinion on this is that I wouldn't link my gaming stuff with my personal account. Never. I don't think it's a good idea, and I think that I appreciate the anonymity that Steam gives you, that all other platforms give you when it comes to gaming. Not because of me per se, but because we know that some gaming communities can get very toxic, and we've seen people get swatted or doxxed if their personal information is leaked, which is a big concern. So, in my opinion, I just wouldn't want to link my account like this. But what do you think? Do you agree with Facebook's new policy, or do you think that it doesn't make sense in a gaming context? Do you empathize with Facebook because they want to expand VR, or do you think it's kind of a greedy move for them to change things like this? Do let me know in the comment section below, so maybe we can start a discussion. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more content from this channel. If you want to come hang out while I'm streaming, I do have a Twitch account and the link will be in the description as usual. Thanks again and have an amazing day.